Recording in progress. That's what I always like to hear. So this is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor here at Samson Properties on a day that we are all snowed in. So in this class today, this is what I would have been doing in our HQ2U in Waldorf, but this is when the presentation. This is going to share with you 3 or 4 or more tips on how to make sure that you are winning the presentation when you are working with your client or potential client coming up. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Hopefully at this point you are able to see that I'm doing a screen share. I'm going to show you where some of the tools are at to get started. So first off, into Cardinal Nest, you're going to go over to your quick links or however you get in to Bold Trails. You're going to log in, and please do not try to use my login information. I actually had a client or an agent one time tell me they tried to log in and it wouldn't let them in because they needed the password. Yeah, because that's my account. So while that's loading up, there you go. So you are now in Bold Trails in what we call the back end of it. So over on the left-hand side, you're going to see all your tabs here. But the one you want to get into is where it says More, and then you'll go up to Marketing. You're going to click on that. Once that loads up, Marketing Tools and Features, you will gently roll down to the second row of options. And here at Present is where we're going to get into. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and it's going to open it up for us. It's thinking. It's thinking. Okay, now that it is open, there you go. All right, so here's a couple things I want to bring to your attention. First off, if you have never played with this one before, oh my gosh, please go check it out. It is a great tool. It is provided through the Bold Trails platform. Even if you are not using Bold Trails as your CRM, you definitely want to know these tools are there and how to get into them and how to use them to your advantage. And who can we thank for having this available to us? Not only Samson Properties, but Cardinal Title as well. So there you have it. All right. So in the buyer, I'm going to go ahead and just show you what that is real quick. You're going to click on Start, and it is going to bring up, again, just a basic 3 or 4 slides in like a PowerPoint flip chart, if you will. So when you click on the little pencil icon, you can actually put the buyer's name in here. All right. If there's a second buyer, second buyer name in there. Okay. Now, see, it makes it very nice when, obviously, when you're customizing it. You could put, your contact information in there as well, but I always like to see the buyer's name in there. Now, here's a little bonus. When you are looking at this screen and it says cover options, image, no image. Let's say you want to put an image in there on that front page. You will go to, it'll take you into your computer, select a file. I always have a folder of royalty-free images, which means I can use them without getting in trouble. So you could have a key, you could have a house, you could have possibilities are endless. But for this example, I'm just going to use this one, and I'm going to say use photo, and there it drops it right in on the cover page for you. All right. So let's say that, okay, you're good. You want to take a look at the next one. You can go to Present and Share. If you have done this a couple of times and you know exactly that it's what you want, you can cut straight to the PDF of it. We're going to go Present and Share. And here's going to bring you to I'm going to say the dashboard of the menu page. You can save it. You can add information to it. You can open the presentation up, and that's what we're going to do right now because I'm going to show you what it looks like. So when you open it up, this is what the potential client would see. They'd have their name in there, the little arrow off to the lower right-hand side. When they click on that, it takes them over to the next slide. Your information is already branded up in there because that is what is being pulled from Bold Trails, your profile page. So here are great talking points. Click on to the next. Great talking points. And again, why I'm the right buyer's agent. Great talking points. This is not designed to be customed out and changed out. If that's what you want to do, use this as an example and go create your own. But this is a basic and it will work. From there, they can click on get started and it will send an email to you that they are interested in taking the next step. Now, how I like to use this or how I would use this is if I was going to be doing a buyer consultation, I would prep this and I would have it ready. Again, 2 seconds to get it customized. And I would go ahead and have it ready to send over to them. And as an introduction in an email where I'm confirming when and where we're going to meet. Okay. Easy breezy. You can download it and print it. So let me just show you that slide real quick and what that's going to look like. It's going to, there we go. And it puts it in a PDF and allows you to print it out as well. Again, not bad, branded to you. There's the information. And again, that makes a great handout or an email to them ahead of time as well. All right, so I'm going to shut that down, go back to where we were. And what are your other options? Now, you can, here's the link down at the very bottom. There is the link. You can copy the link. See, it's at the bottom. It's telling you it's copying it to the clipboard, which is the outer space, out in the ozone somewhere. And you can add it as an insert into an email. This email is to confirm our appointment on Saturday at 10 o'clock. We'll meet at wherever we're going to meet at. And as an introduction, please enjoy this quick 3 or 4 slide presentation. Now, when you put this link into your email, you never, in my opinion, you never want to just add the link in there because it just, I don't know, for me, it just looks tacky. So from an email, you would add where the little chain link fence is, that little icon, that's where you can insert the link. And then it says text to display. That is where you would put, click here to enjoy a 4-slide presentation or a 2-minute presentation as an introduction. I always called it an introduction. It does not replace a full buyer consultation. It is an introduction and it starts that wow factor off from the get-go. Again, it takes about 2 seconds to create this and send it on over. Okay, so there you have it. So that's one thing that you can use. That's one of those tools. Now, let's go back to, let me go ahead and close these other slides down because I don't need them open. We're going to shut those down. We're going to go back into present. And on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. And there we have it. Okay, you will see the presentation for the sellers and you will win the listing. Click on that. You will go ahead and put in an address in there and the state. It doesn't automatically populate it over, but yeah, you get the point. So again, you can adjust if you need to. Next, comparable details, or you can review the pages, adjust as you need to. Again, do it for your address or somebody else's address, just as a trial run if you've never used it. And we're in this case right now, we're just going to skip to the presentation. So we're going to skip right to the presentation, and this is what the consumer will be able to see when it gets there, and it's loading. Here we go. All right. So again, similar to the one for the buyer, you can customize information there as well. And once again, you can add an image, select, and let's say for this one, oh, you want to really create that wow factor? If you are able to do a drive-by of their house prior to the appointment, you take a picture of their house and you will actually then download that picture of their house onto this slide. So when they get it, we'll pretend it's this one. They will absolutely have their house shown on the slide. That is creating that wow factor to help you win the listing. All right, so let's pretend that is their house and you're ready to now take a look at the whole thing. And again, it's going to go ahead and bring you over to this menu bar. You can save it. You can add client. You can add an agreement link to it. You can add a net sheet. You can add a video if you wanted. We're going to open the presentation. So for this example here, we're going to go ahead and open the presentation. I always like to double check it and make sure it's okay before sending it out to a client. So here is what they will see when they open it up. All right. So from there, we're going to click on over to the next page, the value of an agent, great talking points, home selling process, great talking point. It's going to download some maps. I'm just going to jump right past it for a quick minute. It's going to let you see what's going on in the area. I loved this one. Pricing misconceptions. Again, read this over. Use this as a talking point. You don't need to read it to them, but just be familiar with it. So there you go. Where do buyers get their information? Again, great talking point, great pre-consultation introduction package is what I like to call this. I'm going to go ahead and scoot on what factors influence pricing. There you go. And why pricing correctly is important. Again, love this, love this, love this. The demand in the area. And this is a great slide as well, because it lets them see, and it pulls from the MLS. It lets them see that there are 8 buyers in the footprint or in the area that are actively working with another agent who's had a search set up for them for this footprint. That's where that information comes from. So you can say, well, at this point in time, we've got 8 potential buyers in the footprint that are looking for something similar to your property. There you go. Now you got some talking points, and that will impress them. That will impress them. Couple quick tips on staging to help them along. Your marketing plan, again, great things. Again, it's just a quick snapshot introduction. A thank you at the end. They can either say get started now or more time or more information needed. Either way, it sends you an email that they've looked at it. Now, I love this one, and I would be using this for every pre-listing appointment. This is the introduction flyer or presentation that you can send on over to them. Now, again, you can download it and you can print it. If you need to have it mailed to them or it's saved as a PDF, you can do it as an attachment. You can send it that way as well. And just to show you what that's going to look like, let me go ahead and click on there for you. It is coming up with, there we go. And there you go. You just print it out, or again, you can save and share the link. So you can hit share. Here's the link. Grab the link, click on the link. It's taken the link into behind the scenes. You can then go into your email and send this to them as a link in the email. As I said before, I always like to say, click here to enjoy a brief introduction. There you go. Again, it creates the wow factor. It helps you get your momentum started and allows them to see that, you know what, you are better than the average bear. Now, again, you can also take the link here, send it to them. But again, pre-listing introduction is how I like to label it as. Okay, so with that, that takes care of that particular one. Now, let me go to the next tool that you guys have available to you at your fingertips. First off, this is available in Cardinal Nest under resources. It's called the Fruit Bowl. You can also retrieve it from my website, the Agent Resource Center. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. And right here it says, I know it's here because I just brought it up. Fruit Bowl, CMA. We're going to click on that, and bada bing, bada boom. It populates up. I'd print a couple of these out and just have them at the ready. Okay. You put the property address in there. You can write it in. It doesn't have to always be typed out. Now, whenever I went and did a listing presentation, I always had this page with me and done ahead of time. As we've talked about, whether it is through Core Present or any of the other online artificial intelligence platforms, this is nothing more than a guesstimation, estimation. Make sure that you are using the proper terminology by saying this is an estimation or a guesstimation. And again, Casey Samson said this a couple years ago, and I loved it, and I've run with it to big time. Part of our job is to help the consumer understand how the business of real estate now works. Not what it was months ago, not what it was years ago, but now. So we got AI. And I tell them, and you never want to say, this is what I will list and sell your home for. Because here's the example. And you can use it if you want. So let's say that all 10 of us live in the same neighborhood. We have cookie cutter houses. They were all built at the same time, exactly identical. And let's say Mavis decided to gut her kitchen, because she's a gourmet cook, and turn it into this fabulous workspace and wine cellar and walk-in pantry, and you name it, you name it, you name it. It is amazing. But yet I have done nothing to mine. Now, let's say Karen, on the other hand, has gone and has taken the primary suite, gutted the bathroom, turned it into a spa experience with a jacuzzi tub, maybe a sauna's in there, high-end fixtures and everything just to the nine. Yes, her value is going to be a little bit more than mine because I've done nothing to mine. And Ed, on the other hand, let's say he is the grill master big time, and he's taken a deck and expanded it out. He's got a green thumb. That backyard is landscaped to the nine. Mine's got weeds in it. I'm just kidding. No, it doesn't. But he has decked this out. He's got the grill. He's got the flat iron. He's got the Blackstone. He's got the pizza oven, everything. We're going to his house, by the way. But he's upgraded his. Now, is his house going to have more value than mine? Mm-hmm. Is Mavis is going to have more value than mine? Mm-hmm. Is Karen's going to have more value than mine? Mm-hmm. But I've done nothing to mine. I have let my 57 dogs, all big ones, I'm just kidding, run through the house, chew it up, and tear it up. My house is not the same value as yours. But if I went and responded to one of these ads that says, text me your address, and I will tell you what I will list and sell your home for, not, because it's false advertising. You haven't seen the property. You cannot fully assess the value until you've actually, a professional like yourself, have laid eyes on it. You need to know what amenities they have upgraded and what condition the amenities are in. So this sheet also helps with that as well. So again, you can use this, and I always had this with me, filled out just in writing in advance before I went and did a listing presentation, because they're going to say, well, I looked on Zillow and Zillow said my house is worth $750. Okay. But no, $750,000, not $750, $750,000. And I would pull out of my little folder or my notepad portfolio. Oh, I'm glad you looked it up because I did my homework too. Let me show you what I've found and the assessment of it. You got great conversation. You were able to impress them. You were able to help educate them on how the business of real estate now works. And you are worth your weight in gold. All right. So I will tell them, Zillow says this, but Redfin says this. Realtor says this, eAppraisal says this, or any other site you want to throw in there. Now, my preferred platforms are available to me as a real estate agent, as a real estate professional. I've got access to these sources that the average person doesn't. The National Association of Realtors, RPR. Gang, if you have never checked that one out, you need to. You're missing the mark. So again, go to NARRPR.com. create your little account. It's part of the National Association of Realtors. If you are an NAR member, you have access to it. Go check it out. Know what the mini report looks like, what the bigger full report looks like. You'll be impressed. You also have Core Present. We just walked you through that. You also have Bright or your MLS. Okay, so I would pull all these options and all of these sources to show them I've done my homework too. I'm not relying on just one or two AI sources. I'm digging in with every tool I've got, and here's what we've got. Now, sometimes I'll even go as far as what the highest point was, what the lowest price point was, what the difference was. And this is why we can't rely on just this, an online CMA, because what needs to be taken into consideration is obviously location and amenities. The biggest component is the condition of those amenities or upgrades that have been made to a property. They can't really do that on their own. That is why you, the professional, gets to step in and have a part. So again, this is a second great tool. Again, you can get it out of Cardinal Nest, out of resources. It's called the Fruit Bowl. It's also on my website as a bonus handout. Fruit Bowl, there you have it. Download it, print a couple of them out, and have it at the ready to go. And again, if you have not done this yet, pull one up and do it on your property address and see what comes up. It is also fun and entertaining. Okay, so that is how that tool works. We've talked about this one already, the Core Present. There you go. You know how to use that one now and where to get it. Now, there are a lot of things that can be done. So let me share a couple of them with you. You always, and I mean always, want to do a buyer and or a seller consultation. A buyer or seller consultation is nothing more, like we say that lightheartedly, nothing more than an interview. You are interviewing them, they are interviewing you. Do you think you can work well together? Now, if you come to meet me and you see my house is torn up, wrecked, just kidding, it's not, and I'm wanting $100,000 more than everybody else in the neighborhood because, Ed's and Karen's and Mavis's, property sold for more, I'm not in the same category as them. But if that's what I want and I'm going to demand on it, you can determine that I'm unrealistic and probably not a good match. And it's okay not to hire a client. It'll save you some time, money, and aggravation. So again, the consultation is an interview. Do you want to work with them? Do they want to work with you? In our various trainings, again, it is available in the Cardinal Nest. Just type in buyer consultation or seller consultation. You're going to get it. Also on my learning channel, we've got buyer and seller consultation video in there because the buyers and sellers are a mix of 4 personality styles and 3 learning styles. You want to make sure that you are talking their language, comparing an apple to an apple, and wowing them. Now, if you are, talk, they're not going to remember about 90% of what you said, especially if they are a visual or a kinesthetic learner. They need kinesthetic, they need to have their hands on it. Visual, they need to see it. And yes, they need the audio, they need to hear it as well. When you do the consultation in the training video that I've done, the consultation packet that's available to you that I've brought to the table addresses all 4 personality and all 3 learning styles. We go through page by page so you can understand which page you just hit on quickly or which ones you pause and say, this is important. I want to make sure we go through this thoroughly. And that is, again, going to separate you, create that wow factor to concrete in that winning the listing. Consultations, again, are an interview. It's to determine if the 2 of you are compatible to work together. And it is also to answer their questions before most of those questions ever come out of their mouth. Now, how this was created was over years. When a client would ask the same thing over and over again, then, or, different clients, same question. We realized that that was important and we would incorporate it into the buyer or the seller consultation. So that is why we can say that those consultations are designed to answer the common questions before they ever come out of the client's mouth. Now you have really wowed them and pretty well going to guarantee you're going to win that listing. Okay, so back on the agent resource, again, your fruit bowl is available on the bonus handout page. The learning trails is the start to finish of your academic learning within starting your business. That is a great place to start. And Donnie has said on numerous occasions, if he could make Jumpstart mandatory, he would. And it's on there. It's where we're going to get you started at. We'll make sure you've got all your pieces of the puzzle together. So when we get into the how to have conversations, I hate scripts, but I'm going to give you talking points. I'm going to give you questions, to ask, to overcome, to connect the dots. And then in there, your next assignment is your buyer and your seller consultations. The handout's there and the video is there as well. So that's where you can find it. Just since I got you here, listen and learn. The classes that I do on Thursday, I typically try to record them, and that is typically where I'm going to download them to, is the learning trails. So again, make sure you go check this out as well and know what tools are available for you right at your fingertips. And the reason I did this, there is a dual purpose for it. First off, this website, Samson's website, it's Bold Trails. It is the exact same website platform that you guys have access to. This old non-techie gal figured out how to add custom tabs and change the tab title if you want it. So we've added this. I've added this because you, our Samson agents, are my SOI. You are able to go to this 24/7. Because if I'm sleeping, driving, or teaching, or doing all three at the same time, probably not a good idea. But the point is you can get to anything you need at a quick call or recall. So that's why I created it. But then I wanted you to take a pause and look at what I've done to my site and go, wait a minute. If she did this to her site, what could I do to mine? Because there's handouts in there. There's videos in there. I have a client resource center as well with the newsletters and reports. You can create the same thing. So this is another reason that I do encourage you to go check out my site as well. And you're able to then take a look and go, ooh, I could maybe do that to my site as the go-to source for my clients. Because again, you, my Samson agents, are my clientele, my SOI. All right. So there's that information. So let's go ahead and just chat for a minute. I'm going to take it off a screen share, and we're going to take a little bit deeper dive into a couple of things I want to make sure that you guys know about. First off, it is critical and important that you have a minimum standard business operation, which means you will do a buyer or a seller consultation every time. It is not, oh, I do it sometimes here. I sometimes do it here. It depends. I don't always do it. Because guess what? That is actually a violation of fair housing, falls under discrimination. Because the question then would come, if you ever got called on the carpet for something, they're going to ask, so do you do it? And you go, well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. At that point, take your license out, write void on it, tear it in half, and hand it over to them. Because you have just admitted to discrimination. Because the question then comes is, so how do you decide who does and who doesn't get a consultation? How did you decide who does and doesn't get this? Minimum standard of operation, best business practices is I want every single one of our Samson agents to be compliant in that field and never put themselves at risk. So you do it every time. We teach you, again, we hand it to you on a silver platter. We hand you the logic behind it. We hand you what pages you hit, what pages you pass over. That is going to help secure it. So you got my promise. You can just promise me every time now moving forward, you'll make sure you do one. All right. Now, the other thing in winning the listing and creating that wow moment for the client, when you have finished your consultation with them and you've gone through the wants and needs assessment, There is, again, in resources under the bonus handouts, there is the How Did I Do email template. Now, download it, copy and paste it. I'd save it in a Word document. And then when you needed it, boom, you got it. When you are meeting with the client, you will actually sit there with them. When you go through the consultation part of their wants and needs and why is that important? How do you see yourself using that space? And why is that important to you? You're writing this stuff down. Hopefully, and they're writing it too, because you've given them a pen to write it down with. So you're taking note of that as well. As soon as you have finished that consultation and are able to get back to a computer, you're going to pull up their email and copy and paste this format into it. It says, when we met, I listened carefully to what you said was important to you. This is a Joe Stump technique that I learned 100 years ago, and it has served me well. Creating that wow factor, being unique and different, and there you have it. So in that email, it says, when we met, I listened carefully to what was important to you. Here is what I heard you say. And you bullet point those things down. And then the question after that is, did I get it right? Did I hear you correctly that these were the things that were most important? There you go. There you go. You have just concreted that wow factor in with them. Even if they've hired you, you still follow up with it and send that back out again. All right. Now, here's another a bonus tip from me. I would never go unprepared. I know a lot of agents will have a digital version of the listing agreement or the buyer broker agreement at the ready on their computer, so they can either have it printed out or they can get a wet signature on it, or it can be done from their computer digitally. I would never walk away and say, I will email you the information. Because they're going to leave and go to a party or go out with friends and go, I'm so excited, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to list my house. And somebody says, oh, wait a minute, my friend's dog just got a real estate license, and you know, it would be his first, and wouldn't it be cool to use the dog? And you go, oh yeah, I love dogs, I'll be happy to do that. And next thing, you are cut out and the dog's got the listing. Slight exaggeration, but you get my point. So I would always make sure that at the end of the consultation, which is what we teach you to do, is say, okay, I think we're going to be a good match and work well together. Do you agree? And you gently nod the head and they nod back. Great. Our first step is, I need your authorization to officially hire me so I can start working on your behalf. Gang, that is nothing more than a buyer broker agreement or the listing agreement. Now, think about it this way. You are not going to go take that picture of the house and put it on the MLS until you've got a signed listing agreement. Why would you think on the other side, if you're working with a buyer, why would you even consider doing any work with them or for them without a written agreement? It's an employment application. And guess what? I just finished my CE credits and it was talked about right in the class. It was like, this is why I've been saying this for years, because I remembered it from way back when. It is still being taught today that those are employment agreements and they are agreeing to officially hire you to do a job for them. You wouldn't go into, I don't know, some big office building and walk in and start doing work for them and then expect to get paid on Friday. You're going to have an interview, a signed agreement, and then you're going to start working for them. There you go. So in closing with either the buyer or the seller, and I know we're talking about win the listing, you will say, okay, our next step is you will become next step obsessed, because that is going to help you keep them in track, in line, because your D's do not want their time wasted. So they want to know you've got a plan and you're going to execute that plan. Our next step is this. Our next step is this. Your S's and C's, which are steady and compliant, they too want to know that you're going to walk them through methodically, step by step. Your eyes are just going, oh my gosh, you're doing all this for me. That's wonderful. Yeah, we're good. So again, it hits all 4 personality styles, wows them, gets them working with you instead of against you, and it has upped the odds of you getting repeat and referral business. which is what we hear all the time. Agents say they want to have repeat and referral business. Well, gang, you got to earn it and you got to create the opportunity for it to happen. There you go. Easy peasy. So here's your homework in winding this down. First off, Real Scout. Oh my God. If you have not set up a Real Scout account, put yourself in there and set it up for buy or sell, whatever, and you start seeing what it's going to do it. Second thing I want you to do, oh, we didn't cover this one. Go to your website. In there, one of the tabs, second one across, says home evaluation. Go in and put your address in there. Set it up and see what comes to you, because that's going to be what you're going to be having your clients see as well. Third, download that fruit bowl. Give it a whirl on yours, know how to do it. Next, you're going to go to Core Present within Bold Trails and play with both the win the listing and the one for the buyer as well. Again, it's going to take you just a few minutes. You can knock all this out in less than 20 minutes. And last but not least, for fun, you're going to go to NAR, RPR, sign in or create an account if you haven't already, and see what that platform has to offer. See which one you like the best, because all of them are good. And I take that back. They're only good when you use them. And we are handing you here at Samson, thanks to Cardinal Title, your best tools and techniques to win the listing, win it every time, secure that buyer every time, build the business that you can cry all the way to the bank, and build up repeat and referral business. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty sweet way to go. So there you have it. There's your homework. And as we wind this down, remember, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. Do not practice on your clients. Practice on yourself. Get with another agent. Everybody's snowed in right now. Get another agent to run a scenario with each other. Know how to do it so well that I could call you at 2 o'clock in the morning and wake you up from a dead sleep and say, hey, count of 2, start a buyer consultation with me. And after you're done cussing me out, you're going, okay, Lynn, here it is. And you could jump right into it. Perfect your skills, polish your skills, fine tune your skills, sharpen your skills. Do not practice on the clients, because you are expecting them to trust you with the biggest financial purchase of their life. You don't have the right to screw it up. And you certainly don't have the right to fly by the seat of your pants, because you can cost them a lot of money or bankrupt them, or worse. They can come back after you and file a complaint, and you do not want that to happen. All right, my friends, go be awesome. Go be wonderful. I will see you in the next training video. Know that there's lots of resources out here for you. There is nothing that you would need that we at Samson haven't already set up for you. Check out the learning trails as well. Get on the learning trails and just work yourself methodically through, whether you're a new agent, new to Samson, a seasoned agent. It's always great to make sure that you're not missing any of those puzzle pieces for your business. All right, my friends, this is Lynn saying I will see you in class the next time around. Bye for now.